What's up, Facebook Fortnite group? Velo here, back again with another video. And I went online yesterday. I asked you guys what type of content you wanted to see, what type of videos you wanted to see. In fact, we did a poll, and a lot of you were saying that you were interested in building tips and techniques and tutorials. And I realized like how vast that subject is, and it's going to be difficult to cover it all obviously in one video because there's all different levels in our group. There's all different levels out here on YouTube. And I think what I want to do is break it down into some scenarios and give you guys just like two or three things to work on in each video. That way you're not watching this really long, drawn out video about 100,000 different ways to build and when to build, and you're not going to utilize those. So what I want you guys to do is take this video, and if you're already utilizing these, great, maybe you'll pick up something in the video also, but if not, you can go and practice these, try to use them in the game and see if that helps you, because unless you're practicing them and utilizing them in the game, watching a video about it's not going to do you any good. So the concept that we're going to talk about today is layering. Okay, layering is when you're building, putting more than one build or one piece between you and the person that's shooting at you. This is typically a defensive move, and that's how we're going to use it today. So you can either hit a launch pad or hop on one of these ATKs, because I built this little thing right out here. You guys can come into my edit gym and you can utilize this. So it's been a long time since I've flown one of these things. Let's see if I still got it. Not really. I need to get a little bit more speed. Anyway, so you can just drive the ATK out here. You can always hit the launch pad and fly out here. But once you get out here, guys, I have 3 different pillars. Each one of those is going to have a different bot with a different weapon. And what you're going to do is just shoot one of these triggers and it's going to drop down the bot. And on the left side here, we have the assault rifle bot. In the middle, we have a drum gun. And on the right, we have an LMG just to add some more suppressing fire. So let's go ahead and start with probably the most common scenario, especially for beginner players. I see this issue a lot. Say you're on the same level, maybe you guys are on the ground or you're up a story or something like that, and they're shooting at you, right? So this guy, let's go ahead and start with the assault rifle guy because I'm going to show you the difference. This guy starts shooting at you, and then boom, what do most people do? They put up a wall, and they're holding that wall waiting for them to stop shooting at them. Now this is okay, this works depending on the weapon that he's using, right? Right now none of the bullets are getting through, it's doing its job. Now if we go ahead and try the drum gun guy, these are all 1 HP bots by the way, so you can kill him really fast. For example, right now the meta, you know, with the Midas drum gun, this is something that people are running into, the minigun also. If we do the same thing against the drum gun, we're holding this wall. And watch my health. It's at 1967 right now. And boom, I just took a shot. So some of the bullets are actually getting through. So this is when we introduce the concept of layering. And you should be doing this in all situations, in my opinion. But if someone starts shooting at you, it's good to get that wall up, but then place a ramp and then immediately switch back to the wall. Okay, let me explain that really quick. I'll kill this guy. All right. So when you start getting shot at, go ahead and throw that wall up. And then you're going to jump up onto a ramp and then immediately switch back to your wall key, and then you're going to hold that wall. Okay, so now you're holding the wall just like you were before, but now you're behind a ramp. You have that protection. So when our drum gun guy starts spamming us, we're still holding that wall, right? We're trying to replace that wall, but some of his bullets are getting through. Now instead of them hitting us, they're hitting our ramp, okay? Now eventually enough bullets get through, it's going to break our ramp, and what you're just going to do is quickly switch to your ramp and build another one. And then go right back to spam holding that wall. Okay, so look at ramp and then boom, back to the wall. All right, so this is layering. Obviously, it's not going to shoot at you all day like this, but this is just a good way to practice. Another good tip, it's not going to work against this bot because he's just going to follow me because he has proximity. But you can also give yourself some room, right? Give yourself some room. Now your opponent's not going to know exactly which wall or ramp you're behind. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to shoot you. Another thing you can do, guys, I see this also. Say you have a teammate that's knocked. Let's kill him for a second so I can talk. All right, so say you have a teammate that's knocked and your teammate is right here, okay? And he's here. What a lot of people do, you know, they'll build a wall and they'll start trying to res their teammate, but they're getting spam shot. Now, if it's just one player, eventually he has to reload. So if you have enough space between you and them, by the time it takes them to shoot through all of your walls and reload, you might have the opportunity to res your teammate, but you're not going to be able to get that opportunity in this case, right? And just sitting here holding one wall. So let's go ahead and bring the assault rifle guy back up. And it's not going to work so much with the bot. Can you see me? I think we got to get closer. All right. So say our teammate is down back here. What you can do is you have this wall, build a ramp, build another wall, build another ramp, and now start rezzing your teammate. Now he has to shoot through all of these builds and then reload, you know, and that's going to take some time. So you have the opportunity in this case to res your teammate. So what you can do is pick up your teammate, throw them, build a ramp, build a wall, build a ramp. Now you have layers of builds in between you. Okay, so let's go ahead and kill him really quick. So this is a common situation when you're being shot at directly in front of you. Sometimes the people are above us shooting down. This is another situation. Let's go ahead and get into this one. So say we're right below. Okay, same thing. Let's get right below him here. Same thing. You have your floor up here and you're just spam holding that because you're getting shot at from above. But same thing. Some of those bullets are going to start getting through. Right now I'm holding my floor. Okay. So how do we layer this? Let's just go ahead and put a cone on top. All right. So we put a cone on top. In this case, the assault rifle is not getting through. What happens if we have two people shooting at us? All right. So now we have the drum gun guy and the AR guy. Now this brings up the next point that I wanted to go over because it just happened, even though I wanted to talk about it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm holding the cone, and as soon as my floor breaks, I'm going to replace the floor and then switch right back to the cone. Okay, let me kill these guys really quick and explain that. All right. So I'm holding this floor cone. As soon as my cone breaks, as soon as my floor breaks, they break this because those shots that keep leaking through the cone, I'm going to just hit my floor key and then switch right back to the cone. Now notice where I'm aiming. This is important, okay, because it just happened to me. Notice I'm aiming at the top of my wall and I'm not looking straight up. If you're holding cones, this is going to be your issue. If I'm here and I have a cone above me and I'm aiming up here and this cone breaks and I'm just spam holding that cone, your cone's actually not going to place above you. It's going to place on the other side of the wall, and I'm going to show you guys just here. If I'm spam holding this cone, watch what happens when it breaks. Look at where my cone is placed, and I'm just sitting here getting shot, right? Not a good scenario. So what you want to be doing is looking at the top of your wall, and that will place the cone directly above you. Same thing with your floor. It'll work just the same. All right? So that's one thing that you can do from below. Again, if you're getting spammed like that, it's not a bad idea to try to get out and get more space so that your opponent doesn't know directly where you're hiding. But that's how you want to do that. Same thing happening from above. Or when you're above, rather. Okay, because they're going to want to start shooting you down. You can layer in a few different ways here. Actually, there's one more technique I want to talk about real quick. Sorry. Got ahead of myself. Let's say you're still down here and you're just getting spammed really hard by multiple players. Okay, let's go ahead and break this. Let's get our drum gun guy out. Let's get our AR guy out. If you're getting spammed really hard by multiple players and you're holding that cone, when you see the floor break, you're going to replace that. All right, what you can do here is you can look down and place a ramp. Turn around, look down, and place a ramp. Let me show you what that just did. These guys are super accurate, by the way. So what I just did, I was getting spammed from above. I'm sitting here like this, holding my cone in my floor. If I hit my ramp key and look down like this, it's going to place that ramp above me. Granted, I'm in the middle of the box. And now I have actually 3 layers of protection above me, and I can continue to hold my floor and my cone from underneath this ramp. And then if they do eventually decide to stop shooting or they reload, you can do a number of things. You can try to escape. You can turn your ramp around and edit up and try to fight them. It just depends on your comfort level and your set of skills. But let's go ahead and get back into the next part that I want to talk about, which is when you're up at height and they're trying to shoot you down. All right, so you're up here and you're standing on this floor. All right, right now I'm not falling through the floor. If more people were shooting at me, I would probably fall through. So this is where we want to layer. And we can either layer with a cone. Again, we're holding our floor right now. And then if he does decide to break, or he does eventually break my cone, I'm just going to replace it and then put it back. So let's go ahead and get our drum gun guy out so he can get some shots in through here. All right, so now I'm spam holding that floor, and as soon as my cone breaks, I'm going to jump up, replace the cone, and replace it and go right back to holding that floor. So we're holding the floor. As soon as that cone breaks, replace the cone, switch back to your floor. Okay, it's the same concept that we did with the ramps and the walls. And if you guys want more challenge, you can always add the third shooter here who has the light machine gun. But those are the 3 concepts I want you guys to work on right now. Layering people in front of you. You're going to try to get behind a ramp and then hold your wall, right? So place that wall, get onto a ramp, immediately switch back to your wall and hold that wall. Okay, until they chill out. In that case, you can come up and try to shoot back at them. You can try to get away. You can, make some fancy edit plays. It's really up to you guys. If you are above somebody and they're shooting up at you, you're going to want to layer either with, I think the cone's easier, but you can also layer with a ramp and just hold that floor. But personally, I think that the cone is a little bit easier. You're not going to likely get caught underneath the cone like you would the ramp, depending on where you're standing on this when you break it. And then finally, if they are above you, shooting down at you, you can always put the cone. You're holding the cone. If they eventually break the floor, you just replace it. Replace it with the floor, put another cone, and then last measure, you can always turn around and place a ramp, and now you have 3 layers of protection between you and that. So I hope you guys find this video useful. If you do, make sure you give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. I'm also live on Twitch, twitch.tv/VeloStinks, so come check that out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.